Yo, it's your boy Trell DaBarber, and this is my episode of Welcome to My Vlog.
Yo, what's happening, man? It's the man Larry, the camera guy, and we on another episode of Welcome to My Block. We here with Trell DaBarber. Say what's up to him, man.
Yo, what's up?
Alright, so we just gonna jump straight into it, man. We here with one of the youngest, but one of the most talented barbers in the game right now, man. Trell DaBarber, man. I just want to ask a few questions, let the world know about you, man, because you definitely one of those who deserve to get their flowers right now. You really doing your thing, man. So what actually got you started with barbering?
When I was probably like 11, somewhere from 11 to 13, my brother, he came out of nowhere. We was in my parents' bathroom, and he was like, "Hey, bro, cut my hair." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, bro, cut my hair." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I'm like, "Bro, what you want?" He's like, "Give me a bald fade." I'm like, "Bald fade." So I did it, and it turned out okay. So, you know what I'm saying? I kept doing it. And then eventually I moved to Columbia when I turned like 13. And once I came up here, like, I didn't really do it like that no more. But, you know what I'm saying? So as I got older, when I went to high school, I was in like Super 10 with my mom. So we was just, you know what I'm saying, walking around the store. I had them run it off a little bit. So I seen some clippers that was black and red. They caught my eye. So I asked my mom to get them. So at first she was hesitant. Like, she didn't really want to get it, but eventually she got them. I'm talking about, like, bro, I went home, I started cutting. I took them to school with me, started cutting. I'm talking about, them things used to get so hot, bro, you could fry bologna on them. Like, for real, bro. But, you know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And then ever since then, you know what I'm saying, it was a passion for me, bro, because, you know what I'm saying, I was able to provide for myself.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I was able to do stuff, so.
Okay, all right, bet. So it sounds like, your brother was definitely one of those people that kind of got, inspired you, and that's definitely big when you got that family support behind you and everything like that, man. I did want to bring to, everybody's attention. My man, he ain't even 21 yet, but he able to keep up with the veterans in the game, you know what I'm saying, some of the best barbers out here. And just being able to charge your price and actually stick to your price because you know your work, man, that's definitely a big thing. So, like, if you had any other inspirations other than your brothers, is there anybody else that kind of inspires you or, support you a lot when it comes to the barbering game?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I always show love to the people, like, who was first, like, one of the first people to sit in my chair, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the people who actually gave me a chance before I knew what I was capable of. Yeah. Like, so those are the people I salute because they believed in me before I believed in myself, so.
I feel you. So, I know coming out in, I think it was like 2020 when you came out at LR. I remember doing your graduation pictures and everything. Yeah. How was that, like, I guess that was like that pandemic year, you know what I'm saying? Everything kind of slowed down. You had a lot going on, but I do know, like, even in your graduation pictures, you had your clippers in there, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely knew it was more so of a passion and you weren't doing it for the money, you know what I'm saying? How did the pandemic take a toll on, your barbering and all of that type of stuff?
Nah, I mean, me personally, I felt like the pandemic was a great thing because it really brought out the dog in you, bro. Like, you really had to grind. You really had to go get it because you can't sit in the shop and wait for the money to come to you, bro. Yeah. So it's just like, at this point, you got to promote heavy, you know what I'm saying, word of mouth, and doing your thing, bro. So I was kind of glad when it came, and then, you know what I'm saying, it kind of helped with the inflation of prices, too. Because at that time, when you came to my house, you had to pay me more, so it became more of a common thing for them to kick out more money. Gotcha. So when the prices went up, you know what I'm saying, they kind of just stuck around.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Now, even with that, you know what I'm saying, like, I know with the pandemic, like you said, it kind of helped you as far as with inflation and everything, people coming out, and it brought out the hustle in you. So if you wasn't barbering, what could you see yourself doing, like?
I don't know, man. Probably, like, you know what I'm saying, I did go to Hayward and I took diesel technology and I worked with a dude who worked at Nissan for over 21 years. You know what I'm saying? I was working on cars, so I probably would have been somewhere in that field, you know what I'm saying? Because I did like to do that too, but who knows, man? I'm just glad I like to cut hair.
Yeah, okay, cool. Now with that, so I did want to talk to you because, so basically the basis of the show, you know, like we like to go around and talk to people from different neighborhoods who, like, the neighborhood where you come from or the part of town where you come from, like many people may not be or have a success story, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, or like they kind of, so the show is to spotlight those people who kind of beat the odds and who out here doing successful things, but also not forgetting where they come from and giving back to the community. And you know, I see you out there doing your thing, which is another reason why I want to speak with you, because even when it comes to barbering, I know you done kind of gave back to the kids, doing like back to school bashes and things like that, cutting hair. Can you kind of speak on that type of stuff too?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just like people say, when duty calls, bro, it's only right to go. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like God blessed me with a gift, so it's only right to give back. And you know what I'm saying? The kids are the future, bro. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing wrong with spreading love. Bitch, that's free, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? It ain't nothing I got to pay for, so why not do it? It ain't hurting me. It can only build me.
Exactly. So, you know, with the barber and everything, because it's a lot more to Trell than just barbering. You know, his name is Trell DaBarber, but it's a lot more to him than just barbering. So we're gonna take a quick break right now, and you know, we're gonna get back. When we come back, we're gonna let y'all, you know, in a little bit deeper to the other side of Trell that many people may not know about. All right. Back off our little break, man. And before we get a little deeper into, you know, the other side of Trell, I did want to touch back on some of the things that we talked about in the first segment, like that Hayward technology and everything like that. Even though you didn't go to Hayward for barbering, would you recommend other people, like other students, going to Hayward to kind of figure out what it is they may want to do in life or try to pick up some type of trade?
Yeah, most definitely, because you can't never have too many trades, you know what I'm saying? And like I tell anybody, you can't never make too much money. Like I said, if I wasn't cutting hair, I probably would have been doing something mechanic-wise, whether it was diesel or automotive, but...
Okay. And I actually went to Hayward too, man. It was a long time ago. I say long time ago, but it was like that 2006, 2007 era, you know what I'm saying? I went for graphic communications. Yeah. So I did graphic communications, and I ended up in, you know, photography. Yeah. But it was still that along the same lines, you know, with everything. But yeah, man, I think Hayward was a good thing that they brought for kids, especially in this area down here in Hopkins, man. Mm-hmm. Because you have access to those trades and things. So like when you do go out of high school, you know, college ain't for everybody. Right. So, you know, as long as you do have a trade and you out here being productive and have something to do to make money and take care of you and your family.
And some of that stuff you can learn and use in everyday life. Like people who take culinary arts can learn how to cook for themselves in the future. Correct. If they don't use it to make money. Yep. And the same thing with automotive or any other trade, you know what I'm saying? You stuck on the side of the road, at least you know how to change a tire, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Exactly, man. That's most definitely. Now, now what a lot of people may not know is Trell also is into horses and everything like that. So we definitely want to touch on that as well, man. What can you tell us about that for the people who may not know anything about, you know, the country life, horses, anything like that, man? Let's jump into that, man.
I mean, the only thing I can say is I love them to death. You know what I'm saying? I call them big dogs. You just can get more out of them. You can't ride your dog, but you can ride a horse. You feel me?
I got you. So what got you started with horseback riding, or what age you think you started riding horses, bro?
When I tell you this, you're going to think it's a coincidence, bro. I was at the barbershop when I was young. Matter of fact, when I was 11. So the dude came by on the horse. It was actually two dudes on the horse. And then he came up over there where I was, so I went over there, I pet the horse or whatever. And he was like, "You wanna ride?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I'm thinking he about to put me on the horse and walk me around. He like, "Nah, take the horse through the little path there right there and come back." I'm like, "Huh?" He like, "Yeah." And then he told me how to do it, and then he sent me on my way, and then I came back. He was like, "You wanna go again?" I was like, "Yeah." So I got off the horse, they went on down the road, and like 2 weeks later I seen him at the corner store. Back then it was called Lucky 7 in GASDEN. So I seen him, I got his phone number, and then, you know what I'm saying, on the weekends, he was like, call me on the weekends, and then I'll take you riding. So the next weekend, I called him, you know what I'm saying, he came pick me up from my pop's house, we went riding, bro. Like, we used to go everywhere, like North Carolina, you know what I'm saying, Rembrandt, South Carolina, like all over, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, and he took me out, and then ever since then, I stuck with it, but when I started cutting hair, I did fall back from it, because, you know what I'm saying, my focus was just different. I just wanted to get better at, you know what I'm saying, barbering. So, you know what I'm saying, I did that, but now I'm really getting back into it. I just got 2 more, so.
Okay. Now, with that, is it, I know there's certain things, like with me, man, like it's certain things that take your mind off of everyday life. Is horseback riding like that for you? Like, you can, you know, jump on a horse and, you know, you can just ride for hours and.
Oh yeah, most definitely. It's a pleasurable thing. You know what I'm saying. Even when I rode in the Mayfest, bro, I did that for 10 hours, bro. You know what I'm saying. Of course, I feel it in my body. You know what I'm saying. Now, you know what I'm saying, with my muscles and stuff. But that's just like playing a sport. But at the end of the day, I had fun and my horse. You know what I'm saying. I had fun. So.
Okay. So and even with that, like you were saying, you know, y'all rode for 10 hours, man. How is it? Because I saw a video that you posted the other day, man, and I thought it was a pretty dope video when you said you was making your horse dance and everything. Like, I know that probably takes a lot of training, man. How can, or what is it, or what does it take to train a horse to be able to move or maneuver like that?
I mean, me personally, bro, like, that horse just one of a kind, bro. Like, it's something that I've been trying to get her to do. And you know what I'm saying, like, even in the video, you can see her easing her way into it. But you know what I'm saying, it's really just, you know what I'm saying, you going out there in the field, putting in that time. And me personally, what I do is I bump her on both sides and pull back and put pressure in her mouth. And I see it. And sometimes she's still trying to distinguish the two, because when I pull back in her mouth, that's normally for her to stop. But at this moment, you know what I'm saying, with the bumping and that, you know what I'm saying, I'm using my straps at the same time. Even in the video, you can see that she go backwards. But she's still trying to learn it too. So you know what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought that was pretty dope. I watched the video a couple times, man. Just seeing, you know, you be able to control the horse like that and, you know, make it do what you needed to do. That I felt like that was pretty dope, man. So, and even like, now that was at the Mayfest, but now at what it was, the Sweet Potato Fest. You know what I'm saying? I did see y'all come through and kind of doing the same thing. I'm not sure if it was you, but it was somebody else that you was riding with. Are those people that you normally ride with? You know what I'm saying? Or like, is it kind of like, I know I used to be in a car club. You know what I'm saying? We all had the same type of cars or whatever the case may be. So is it kind of like the same thing? Y'all got y'all little group or whatever?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got people who are part of clubs, and then you got people who ride solo, but. You know what I'm saying? When I went out there, each event, you know what I'm saying, I saw new faces on horses. So it's pretty much the same scenery, bro.
So it's actually like, it's kind of like a networking thing too, because when you go out there and you're able to meet other people that's into the same thing that you're into. Right. I feel you. So now I did see you out there, and we do have a picture that we're going to put up. You know, I did catch you at the Sweet Potato Festival doing your thing. But I also saw you out there, again, another situation where you was kind of giving back to the community. Now, you came out there, and I'm assuming you came out there to be in a parade, but you end up giving horseback rides to the little kids that was out there, you know, putting smiles on their faces. So just want to kind of touch on that and how it makes you feel being able to see little kids smiling that maybe are getting the same opportunity, kind of like your start-off story when you said, you know, the guy came and showed you how to ride horses and everything. It's kind of like coming back around full circle because you're able to do that for another little kid.
Right. But, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, you know what I'm saying, you never know what anybody going through for as an adult or a child. So, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to bring an animal that I take care of and, you know what I'm saying, that I know is good, and bring that and put a smile on their face, bro, you know what I'm saying, it just makes me happier, bro.
I feel you. What is it that, so when it comes to horseback riding, what is it that makes that your thing? Like, what is it that you like about it so much that, you know, that's one of those situations? Because honestly, you know, you could be out there doing anything else, but you chose horseback riding for your spare time.
Bro, I got a real strong connection with animals, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like humans can have good and bad days. You can go out there and deal with your horse, and they can be having a good or a bad day. You feel me? So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I could just go out there if I'm having a bad day, and I know my horse gonna make my day better.
I feel you. Okay, cool, man. That's dope, man. And these are the type of things like we want to talk to different people about. You know what I'm saying? Because the person that meets you in the street, you know, they may not even know that about you, or may not even take the opportunity to get the chance to even talk to you about things like that, to know that you got this other side other than barbering. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like that's what we trying to do, man. Just add exposure and like get people to know the other sides of who we are. And is as far as with barbering and horseback riding, and you may have two different answers for both. What would you tell? And I guess I'll ask the question separately as well. So for a young person coming up in the barbering game, what advice would you give them?
The advice that I would give is, if you're gonna do it, man, do it. You're gonna have haters, man. You're gonna have people who are gonna be on your side. I mean, you just gotta push through, man. If this what you wanna do, you gotta stick with it. But I promise you, it's rewarding, bro. It's real rewarding.
And with that, as far as like before I asked the question about horseback riding, you just spoke on it. You know, you are gonna have those people that tell you can't do it, and a lot of times the people that tell you that you can't do it are people that couldn't do it themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what I'm saying? I done had people when I first started out, they used to downplay my work and stuff like that, but times change, and those are the same people that double back, be hitting me up like, hey bro, you can squeeze me in, you got something available. But you know what I'm saying, I looked past that because I knew, you know what I'm saying, what I was capable of, and I knew where I was trying to go.
Gotcha, understood. Now with horseback riding, what kind of advice would you give somebody on that?
Advice I would give: when you fall off, man, get back on. Because I promise you, it's going to happen, bro. But, I mean, you come with the game, man, you just got to have a passion for it.
And I don't even know if you realize it, what you just said just now, but that, like, you can not only take that for horseback riding, but that's a lesson for life too, man.
Right.
When you fall off, get back on. Like, it's gonna be obstacles, things gonna happen in life. You're gonna mess up, you know, but man, get back up.
Right, I had a sticky
horse.
when I was riding up there on Bluff Road in Ottertown, man. We was down riding some horses, and me and my homeboys, we was racing. We was running down the road, and it was real muddy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, I knew where I was, but you know what I'm saying, I didn't really know where the road stopped at. So I'm running, so when I see where the road stopped at, we was running full speed. So I'm trying to turn, because it's kind of like a ditch, and then, you know what I'm saying, it's more crops and stuff like that, because it's really just open land.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to turn my horse to the left, and my horse slips and falls on my leg, bro. So when he fall on my leg, he's trying to get back up and start back running again, so I'm hopping on one foot, but I was able to get my reins and pull back. Bro, I kept on riding. I got back home. I kept on riding because that was too far to walk back. I was not gonna walk, bro. That was dead. So I got back on, but when I got back, bro, like I couldn't even take my boot off, bro. Like when I got all the way back home, like I'm talking about when I got back to the ranch, I couldn't take my boot off, but you know what I'm saying? I still put the horse up, you know what I'm saying? Fed him, brushed him back down, gave him water, put it back in the field. But when I got home, bro, I couldn't take my boot off, bro. It took like 4 people to pull at my foot to get my boot off. And it was like a ham hock, bro. Like, but good thing it wasn't broken. It was just a bad ankle sprain. But like I said, that come with the game. But it didn't stop me. It only motivated me.
So what would you do in a situation like that? Is it anything that you feel like you learned from that situation?
I mean, I do ride more safe now. You feel me? Until I really know where I am, more aware of my surroundings. But you know what I'm saying? It's a thing they call young and dumb, and that's exactly what I was.
So, now with horseback riding and barbering and everything, man, what would you want the world to know about you? Like that people may not know. Even it could be a question that I didn't ask. Like, what would you want the world? What kind of footprint are you trying to leave on the world?
I mean, I want to leave the impact of that anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? As long as you believe in yourself and you believe in God, bro, those are the only 2 people that you need. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying, even with the horses and the barbering, you know what I'm saying, it get hard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every horse I get on, they don't want to just go straight down the road. They go up in the air, you know what I'm saying? Every head that come in here is not, you know what I'm saying, the best canvas. But at the end of the day, bro, you gotta keep going. And that's the impact I want to leave is, you know what I'm saying, keep going. Whatever you do, as long as you love it, just keep going. It's gonna work.
Nah, and this is probably gonna be, I wanted to ask this question first, but I guess I end with it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more on the, it ain't so serious. But with any profession, you gotta take the good with the bad.
Right.
So how do you deal with, when it comes to like barbering, those customers that may have quote unquote bad hair, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like the KDs.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
Or them LeBrons that need to, So how you deal with that and make them feel comfortable? And the reason why I ask this question, because like with photography, when somebody books a photo shoot, normally they have to get their makeup done, hair done, buy outfit. So when they in front of that camera, even though if it's only for an hour, during that hour they forget about everything else,
right.
And they just focus on themselves and how they feeling, and it makes them feel good. Right. And so even with me, I know like going to the barbershop, I can be having a rough day, but I go to the barbershop, when I leave out, like I'm feeling a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's how you supposed to feel.
Yeah. So what type of rapport or relationship do you build with your clients to provide that type of customer service when they come through?
I mean, the biggest thing is honesty, bro. You feel me? Like, everything I do for my clients, I want it to last. So when you come in, bro, I'm going to give you an honest opinion on what I think going to fit on you. You feel me? Mm. So, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not willing to take my advice, then I'm gonna go the route and give you what you know what I'm saying, what you want. At the end of the day, bro, as long as you leave here happy, bro. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Okay, all right, cool, man. That's all the questions, man, I had, man. I really appreciate you taking time, man, to do the podcast with me, man. It's another episode of Welcome to My Block, man. You here with Trell DaBarber, man.
Yo.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in to my episode of Welcome to My Block. You can follow me on Facebook at Trell DaBarber. Follow me on Instagram at TR3LL_DaBarber. Follow me at KB Farms. Get at me.